Hey yo, salute to all my subscribers and a special shout out to everybody else passing through. If you are new to the channel, I invite you to stay a while, so please like, comment, and subscribe. And also hit that notification icon to receive alerts on all future content. YouTube, what's good? So, I had to jump on real quick and do a follow-up blog. And once I upload the original blog, y'all see what I'm talking about. Basically, me and my sis Jasmine from the Comfort Zone, we did a music review blog on the Carter 5, long-awaited Carter 5 album. And she had some technical difficulties on her side toward the end of the we actually did a live stream, and she had some technical difficulties on her side near the end of that stream. So part of it was her audio cutting out, where it's just the video, and then after that it just went completely dead. So I'm gonna get that put on the channel later on tonight. So if you're seeing this before that, it's because I uploaded this first. I'm gonna try my best though to get that one put up first on my. It's already on her channel, The Comfort Zone. If you want to go check it out now, I'm gonna get it put on my channel a little bit later on tonight. But just in case I don't, if you're seeing this first and you like, what the fuck is he talking about? That's what I'm talking about. All right, so we was talking about the Carter 5. We did a kind of a rundown review of the album. We also did a little bit compare and contrast of Wayne back when Wayne was Wayne and he was controlling the whole narrative, best rapper alive and all that, and it was widely respected and accepted, versus now. We talked a little bit about how there's been a 4 or 5 year waiting period for this Carter 5 album, you know, with all the red tape with the record label, you know, Cash Money and the whole baby situation, and then the final ultimate release back on September 13th of the Carter 5, long awaited. So we went into the album a little bit, so go check that out. Then toward the end, we started talking about top fives, and Jasmine asked me a kind of interesting question that no one's ever asked me before, and I addressed it kind of quickly because we plan to do another blog and go in a little bit deeper. She asked me about my top 5. I ran down my top 5 rappers. She ran down her top 5. I even gave my top 10, and then she asked me why there was no female rappers in my top 5. And you know, I don't usually give a fuck really much about what people think. You know, I kind of will speak my mind and put it out there, and then however it's received, it's received. I always say, I'm not responsible for what you hear, I'm only responsible for what I say. But at the same time, you know, I think that this one justifies some clarification. So I said that I don't believe that you should mix the female rappers with the male rappers. I didn't really do an in-depth about it because I know that we plan on touching on it in another future blog. But just to jump ahead of whatever potential comments from any potential, you know, Me Tooers out there, I'm gonna try and sum it up real quick for y'all. So the analogy I used was, and I apologize if it's dark. I'm on that motherfucking road on my grind. My analogy was, if you talk to somebody who's into sports, particularly basketball, and you ask them to name to you their top 5 basketball players, professional basketball players. The analogy was that even if that person, male or female, watches the NBA as well as the WNBA, I believe that you're going to get a top 5 based on, you know, that the relatability of the players based on who you're talking to. So I believe if you're talking to a female and she's heavy into the WNBA, but also watches the NBA, I still believe it's going to be, you know, that top 5 list is going to consist predominantly more of NBA players. And I think, you know, with the men, I don't think you're going to find anybody who's going to mix female players, WNBA players, in with basketball players from the NBA if you tell them to run down their top 5 basketball players. I don't think that's a sexist thing, and I definitely, when I do it, it's not a sexist thing. It's just that I feel like when you're taught, you know, equal is not always the same. if you're gonna break down lists for the top, you know, when it comes to, like, let's say basketball, for example, professional basketball, I believe it's fair to have two separate lists, you know. And when it comes to rap, I look at it the same. I have a separate top 5 female rappers list. I don't believe that I can mix top 5 rappers, male and female. One reason being is because, and I'm sure I'll reiterate this once, you know, I get up with Jazz in our next blog, but one reason is because a lot of the female rappers throughout the history of hip hop, which is only, it's less than 50 years old, a lot of the female rappers, you know, they were an image that were put together by who it was that they were rolling with and came up under. Like, you know, it's widely talked about that Big wrote a lot of Lil' Kim shit early on, getting her career started and popped off. You know, it's widely talked about that Foxy Brown had a lot of her shit written by Jay. You know, and of course, I don't know, you know, how much truth to it is and to what extent it goes. I'm sure that there was some help, some input, you know, but because it's widely talked about and widely assumed that the most prominent female rappers, whoever they came up with and under, and whoever they're most closely associated with, it's assumed that their male counterparts was the one who was contributing to their lyrics. I believe that you know, creates a little bit of controversy. But the biggest reason is because I don't feel like the male and female rappers do the same thing. At least not in the era that I grew up in. You know, the females were respected for what they did. I apologize for that. That's my radar detector. The female rappers did what they did, and you know, they were and always will be respected. And like I said, I got my top 5 for female rappers, but I just can't hold them. I can't hold them in comparison to the male rappers, just because, you know, you sprinkle a few for all of the male rappers throughout this entire hip hop thing. You know, it's really only a handful of female rappers who really, you know, created a buzz in the culture to even really be mentioned. And in comparison to the male rappers, I just don't think it's enough to put on the list of top 5. Now, of course, there's going to be some female rappers who have, you know, I mean, some female rap fans who have female rappers in their top 5, and that's cool, you know, because like I said, I got a couple female rappers who I feel like used to spit that shit. I just, you know, for my own preferences, for my list, I just wouldn't include the female rappers, and that's not a sexist thing. That's not a discrimination or equality thing. That's just my opinion on, you know, on rap and where I stand. You know, my top 5 spots are already taken. They will always be taken. You know, Pac, Big. Matter of fact, my top 4 spots, Pac, Big, Jay, and Nas, will always be my top 4. Not in that order, but Pac, Big, Hove, and Nas will always be my top 4. And my top 5, you know, I throw Kiss in there. There's no room for a female to go on my top spot, even though there are female rappers that I respect their craft. And it's just a matter of circumstance. You know, it's just that those spots are taken by who I feel are the very top echelon of rap, and it just is what it is. So it's no gender biased, you know what I'm saying? It's no sexist kind of, you know, spin on it. It's just what it is. Now, I was gonna name my top 5 female rappers, and Jazz asked me to hold off until the next blog where we kind of go, you know, more in it about that. But I'm gonna give y'all my top 5 female rappers now, and then when we do our blog, you know, I'm gonna go in as to, you know, a little bit more into detail, because I'm sure that she'll have some questions about it. But I got MC Lyte, I got Queen Latifah, I got Foxy Brown, I got Nicki Minaj, and I think I gotta put just for historical purposes, I'm gonna put Roxanne Shante in there. My top 5 female rappers. So MC Lyte, Queen Latifah, Foxy Brown, Roxanne Shante. And I guess I could put Lil' Kim in there, even though, personally, I didn't really vibe well with her shit to that level. But I think certain aspects of a top 5, while it is preference based when it comes to a lot of people, I think certain aspects of a top 5, the qualities that have to be there in a respectable top 5 that can be argued, I think has to be, it has to incorporate some artists that just can't really be denied. And I think when it comes to Lil' Kim, whether you liked her music or not, whether you felt that Big contributed to her shit, you can't deny what she did for rap as far as females go. You know what I mean? Because she really took, and her and Foxy Brown kind of share an era, but Lil' Kim really kind of took female rap to a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? Really did change the game for female rappers. And Foxy as well, because they were not just looked at as, oh, they're females who rap. They were looked at as being, up there at that time. In demand, you wanted to hear them. And it wasn't, yo, that's that female rapper Foxy, that's that female rapper Kim. It was just Foxy and Kim. You think about Foxy, you think about The Firm, you think about Foxy, not just Nas and AZ. You think about Bad Boy, you think about, Junior Mafia and all of that, you think about Kim. Their names are synonymous with rap in that era, so you have to put them in there. As far as MC Lyte goes, I just think she was dope as far as she had the voice for it, she had the flow, you know what I'm saying, for that time. She had the lyrics, and she was believable. See, that's the problem with a lot of female rappers, why I think a lot of them don't stand the test of time and don't get the respect that they deserve, because they may not be believable. You heard MC Lyte spit, you was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, and salute to, Salt-N-Pepa and the other female rappers who was doing what they were doing, but MC Lyte, I think, was just head and shoulders above, and then Queen Latifah, you can't fuck with Queen La, you know what I'm saying? Like, she was another one of those female rappers. She was believable. You kind of looked at her in the mix with the dudes, to be real, back in the day. She had a solidified spot. I also, as an honorable mention, I like Rah Digga. Digga talked her shit. But other than those 5, 6 female rappers, and there were others, I just, they didn't really have much of an impact for me. And, that just is what it is. And as far as, Roxanne Shante, she's the one that kicked it all off. You have to credit her with that. You know what I'm saying? Especially as far as battling goes. She kicked it off for the females. She's legendary. You know what I'm saying? And she's largely responsible for some of the male acts for really getting them big. Biz Markie, she's responsible, what I'm saying, for his career taking off. Although there may be some people who might not agree. And if the story is true, she played a part in getting Nas to kind of open up and start, his rap thing. So those things play a part. It's not just the quality of the person's lyrics and, how well they were able to make songs and put verses together. Also, a top 5 has to have something to do with influence. If it doesn't have something to do with influence, I don't think it's a respectable list. And that could be just my opinion, but it is what it is. That is my opinion. And then lastly, I was going to ask Jasmine before the stream cut out, and I'll pose the same question to y'all. As far as the Carter 5 goes, do y'all think the reason why it's as successful as it is, as far as stats, and the numbers go, do y'all think that it's that just because of the long wait period for the Carter 5, and just because it's Lil Wayne, and we just wanted to see if he still could do what we know Wayne for being able to do in the years since, his descent from the top? Or is the album not good? Is the album good enough to justify the numbers? Or did people just come out in droves just because it's Lil Wayne and we've been waiting for so long to hear from him, especially with the longly anticipated release of the Carter 5, which most people after a certain point just thought it would never come out. So let me know what y'all think. We got some more music review blogs coming. That was definitely, the Carter 5 was definitely the first music review blog that we kicked off for both of our respective channels. We're gonna do, we got 2 playlists that we're gonna be collaborating on as far as the music reviews go. And we're gonna bring some more content y'all way. But anyway, as far as this goes, let me know what y'all think about this one. I don't pretend to know everything. I just know what I know. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Like, comment, and subscribe. Peace and love.